I met Bernie several years ago when he was courting the Museum of Art to do some advertising with Our State magazine.
You know, I don't know that I remember precisely when I met Bernie. I think I heard about him before I met him because he's this sort of larger-than-life, wonderful, friendly person, and people said to me, you're going to enjoy meeting him.
As I started thinking about how long I've known Bernie, I realized it's over 30 years. Now, I hate to admit that, but I got to know Bernie in the first year that I was in business. My husband and I started a business in Greensboro, and in our first year we started advertising, and that was at a point in time when Bernie was in the radio business.
I have known Bernie for almost 20 years. I met him when I interviewed for the controller position at his radio stations. He was in the process of selling his radio stations and had a contract to publish the ACC men's basketball tournament program. I made him an offer to come with him and help start up that company, and luckily he accepted. So we set out with no publishing experience and started a new publishing company, Mann Media.
For the past 20 years, I've had the great pleasure of working with Bernie Mann in my capacity as State Tourism Director. Bernie and I share a great passion and love for this state. We both promote the state in various different ways. Bernie's an amazing champion, very passionate, a dynamic leader, an innovative kind of guy.
I've had the pleasure of knowing Bernie Mann for several years. He is a member of the Board of Directors for the Arts Council, and as a member of the board he helps recommend policies for the growth and sustaining of arts across our state.
My working relationship with Bernie now is amazing and spectacular. I see and talk to him nearly every day, which is different from when I was first hired here to answer the phones. I didn't see him all that often. But today we're in contact constantly, every day. You know, I generally see or talk to Bernie about just the general nature of the magazine and what we're working on and what we're doing and the direction we're headed and some ideas I've got. It's just a conversational nature of working with each other.
We really don't work together as much as we're sort of comrades, I would say. That when he notices something in a hotel or restaurant when he's traveling, he'll very often call me or send me something from his visit and tell me about it. And similarly, when I notice things that I think he might be interested in, and we just really stay close. I feel like we're brothers. That I think he really cares about me and about the things that I do with our enterprise, with our business, but also with my family.
Bernie, who's this hard-charging, fast-talking, aggressive, but confident, eager, friendly, and we just came to have such a high regard for him, and essentially grew our business along the way with working with Bernie and with others, but it was a long-term relationship throughout the time of building our business. So it's always been a great respect that both my husband and I have for Bernie from a business perspective, and then also just regard him as a very good friend.
We had heard that The State magazine was for sale. So we put in a bid and we got it. And so now we had 23,000 paid subscribers, a name, a couple of desks and some chairs, and we knew nothing about publishing. Bernie knew how to sell advertising though, and I understood accounting and database management, so off we went.
Well, Bernie and Our State have been great partners in promoting exhibitions such as Monet and Rembrandt and Norman Rockwell, and we've had a great partnership in bringing these important events to the attention of people in North Carolina and beyond. We've done superb promotional packages in the magazine, partnerships with hotels, and you know, he does it in a way that you can't say no, and it's very worthwhile to the institution.
You know, there's no question that Bernie's lasting legacy is the continuation of this great magazine. It's got this 80-year history. You know, he's steering this big ship that we all get to be a part of. And it's amazing. He makes sure that we're all pointed in the same direction and that we're just moving across this state in a way to just showcase it in the best possible way.
It is so very important for us as North Carolinians to know who we are, where we've come from, to understand our assets and our resources, and to know how to sustain those that are the very best of who we are as we go forward into the future. And what Bernie has done is help us as a state to know ourselves. And that is a huge and important contribution to North Carolina.
I'll tell you a contribution I think he's made that's really significant is Our State magazine. It, as I understand it, was a relatively small magazine when he took it over, and now it's really part of the unifying force for our state. It's sort of part of the glue that holds us together. It's uplifting, it's beautiful. I think it has a positive effect on what, well, maybe a positive effect on our collective self-esteem.
We have had an enormously successful ride, and it has been so much fun. Bernie's philosophy in building this company is to hire great people, give them the tools they need to do their job, and then get out of the way. And so we have a staff of smart, creative, dedicated, and very competent folks that put out this magazine every single month.
Of course, he took over the Our State, or what was then State magazine, and now has transformed it into this incredible publication. And he works very closely with my department because we have all of our state historic sites, our museums, and lots of arts activities, cultural activities. And so we like to think that we provide lots of product for Bernie to utilize in our state, and he does it wonderfully.
Well, I think Bernie is sensitive to the total North Carolina. He's very conscious of his traditions, the things that, the values we share as North Carolinians. But Bernie is very hip when it comes to imagining the new North Carolina and the new influences moving into our state and the promise these influences hold for the future of North Carolina. So what I admire about him is that he is so well balanced. You know, he certainly celebrates the great traditions and history of our state and its folk traditions, its architecture. He does such a remarkable job in describing, depicting the natural beauty of our state from the mountains to the coast. He leaves nobody out. He's fair to everyone. And as a result, he has a really beautiful, powerful publication.
Really, you're looking at a legacy publication that is like a trusted friend that people open up their homes every month for this magazine to come into, and that is nothing that Bernie takes lightly. I think he recognizes the enormous responsibility of understanding that if you are a guest in somebody's home, you behave like you were a guest, and you appreciate that hospitality that they've extended to you. We want to make sure, and he'd be the first one to say, you know, if we are being welcomed into somebody's home, we're going to be gracious and appreciative of the opportunity for that to happen.
North Carolina is an amazing state, and from the mountains throughout the Piedmont to the coast, quaint villages, vibrant towns. But I think largely many of our state citizens don't even know what opportunities there are right here in the state. Bernie has contributed greatly by helping to bring those places to life, by showcasing the people who make the state special. And he's taken that to the pages of his magazine and now on his website, and he's shared that with citizens all around this state. He does that monthly, and he just does a terrific job with that, and I think that's probably his greatest contribution.
I admire the civic work that Bernie does. I mean, when he grabs a hold of something, it's going to go somewhere, and it's going to go somewhere meaningful in a careful way. There's few people that I know that are really good with the details and are really good with the big picture. Some people are really good with the big picture, but they can't deliver, they can't get it across the line. So Bernie's one of these rare people that can think big picture, that can be what I might call the architect and the builder. And that's a rare combination. That's probably what I admire about him most.
Bernie has, over the years, been an extraordinary mentor to me. You know, what I've learned from Bernie is this idea that everything that is quality depends on details. He is so focused on the tiniest little things that to a lot of people wouldn't really make a difference. But he believes, and now I believe, that that is what sets anybody apart from anything you ever do. It's, you know, all great work is in the details.
He's not just a history person. He's not just an arts person. He's not just a person who understands and appreciates the cultural significance of a place. He's all of that. He rolls all of that into his vision of North Carolina, of what's important about North Carolina, what there is to love and to respect and to sustain. And that kind of integrated vision and holistic vision is very hard to find, and it marks a true leader.
Bernie has great vision, great leadership skills, and he's not afraid to take on a challenge. But I think probably the thing that makes Bernie most unique and most special, and probably has made him most successful, is that he is a man of great relationships. When he asks how you are, he really means that, and he remembers conversations previously about your friends and your family and what your hobbies and skills are and where you like to travel, and he's parlayed those relationships, I think, into a very successful business. But he's a man of relationships. He cares deeply about people, and I think that shows in very special ways.
Bernie is a great leader. He pushes you to do more and be more than you think you can do. He encourages and supports you at every turn, and he rewards you for that. Most importantly, though, Bernie is a true entrepreneur. He is not afraid of risk. He is not afraid of failure. He is an accomplished salesman and a supreme negotiator. But most importantly, Bernie never gives up.
He's cosmopolitan, well-traveled, sophisticated, and all that without being snooty or having sort of an ego investment in it, in all those things. So he's a role model to me. I like how he handles himself. I like it a lot, and I admire it. And when I grow up, I want to be like Bernie.